something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches! Welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay, and you're our listener.
Well, hey there, listeners.
Hey there, listeners.
Hi, listeners.
Hi.
Hey there, ho there, hi there.
I love announcer
Bliss
Adam.
there.
It's just such a, you have just a 5% of a judgment on the concept of an announcer voice.
Oh,
But
really?
that's how much you need in order to have a good announcer voice.
Haha.
You have to know how ridiculous you sound, even just a little bit. A runner on first and one in scoring position you got to have a little bit of silliness to it.
Well, I mean, when I did do the announcements when I fell in Fall Guys a couple weeks ago, I was having a lot of fun.
That was really fun.
And you were saying, wow, you're actually not bad at this play-by-play.
I was expecting you at some point to say, and boom goes the dynamite.
I didn't get that far into it. I was pretty good for a little bit, but when I got knocked out in those first few rounds, well, okay, here we go. But now that I kind of know more a little bit of the terminology, kind of know those beans a little bit better. Those bean games, those beautiful bean games.
Those beautiful bean games.
I feel next time, we're doing Fall Guys next weekend, right?
Yes,
the
this
weekend
week is,
before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the community day is Jackbox this week, and then next week we'll be doing Fall Guys once again. Twitch.tv/ThatKingBunny. Come say hi at my Twitch streams.
So the weekend we just passed, we did Jackbox. The weekend everyone's...
We're doing every 2 weeks. It's flip-flopping.
So this is coming out on a Tuesday, so the next Saturday is going to be...
Yes.
Fall Guys, yes. So the next one coming up after this episode is Fall Guys.
Anyways, hi.
I got it. Jay, it's all about scheduling and time maintenance.
All right.
Yeah. I'm your timekeeper, Adam. Hey there, hi there, ho there.
We still haven't introduced the show yet.
Temporal time knots, chrono knots.
Everybody, welcome to Fix It with Adam and Jay. I'm Jay, that's Adam. If it's your first time tuning into this show.
We usually take 3 minutes to get to this part of the episode. Be more chaotic, Jay! Magic, whimsy.
Pull it out your butt, boy. You wanna be a content creator? You better keep that. You better keep them guessing at all turns. How them Duke boys gonna jump their burger? Anyways, I love how this is the show where I'm the one that's like, no, stay.
Oh, here we go, everybody.
Right. Okay.
Watch out! No rails, Adam, coming through.
Welcome to Fix It.
Let's take it down a notch. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fix It.
It's the delicious dish.
Welcome to Fix It here on NPR. We're two of the co-hosts of Previewed, which which is the most popular YouTube channel on all of Reaction Internet. To truly know our channel is to know madness. Praise Cthulhu for Previewed. If you don't know us from there and you just know us from this podcast, enjoy being the only one.
You're an entity unto yourself.
Yes, indeed.
Enjoy your loading. Enjoy your island.
And good on you, and good for you.
Well done, thank you. We'd love to know who you are.
But every week, Adam and I, we take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe needed just a little bit of help, and we fix it. And today on Fix It, Adam and I are going to be fixing the I want to say 2020 classic, the MCU's The Eternals.
It actually came out last year, Jay.
Was it 2021?
It was 2021.
Has it only been a year?
Yeah. It came out 1 year ago.
That's more of a comment on just life in general now and my regards to time. But
okay, how long ago did Far From Home come out?
A year ago.
Mm-hmm. Which one feels closer, Far From Home or Eternals?
Far From Home.
Yeah. Even though it's only a month away. It was a month difference.
No.
Yeah.
That can't be right. That can't be right. No.
Yeah.
Time has no meaning in post-COVID America.
Eternals came out November 4th. 2021. Far From Home came out, was it December 16th? Last year. Yeah. I'm shocked too.
Wow.
I thought this movie came out years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I thought we had a lot of time between us and it.
Yes.
And no.
There's a very valid reason why we think this movie came out a really long time ago.
Holy mother of mercy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I know, right? Weird.
That's nuts, man.
Producer Brian here. Adam, you're saying Far From Home, but I know you mean No Way Home. Far From Home, Homecoming, No Way Home, they're all interchangeable. But Far From Home came out in 2019, No Way Home came out December 17th, 2021, and then Eternals came out November 5th, 2021. Now, between the time that Eternals came out and now, so much MCU content has come out, so much more than usual, so it does feel like a much longer time period. Anyway, back to you, gentlemen.
Well, Eternals. But before we hop in, because
that's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, because wowzers Bowsers with a top hat on, do we have a staggering amount of opinions about this film? And Adam, how are you doing?
Guys,
You've had a heck of a week.
I've had a week, everybody. I've had a week. Started out pretty well. And then Andor came out, which was a banger of an episode, even though like not a whole lot happened.
That
but
show
like,
rules.
Ooh boy, and it had a really smart like clickbaity thumbnail title, which I was very proud of because it was like, no wait, this is total 100% clickbait, but it's honest to God what actually happened in the episode. So like, if you know, you know, and this isn't actually a clickbait title.
You said that to me, and I was like, this is the funniest thing you've ever done. I think you should. I think we're done now. It's very, very good.
I was very proud of myself. I laughed. I did my own version of the J laugh when I thought of it.
Yes.
And Amanda was like, "What?" I was like, "It's okay. You know what? You'll see."
Never mind, honey.
It's hard to explain. I think I'm very clever. Okay.
It was peak Adam comedy specifically.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was Wednesday.
And that's not. I mean that as a compliment.
Oh, I take it as a compliment.
Okay, good.
Thank you. And that was Wednesday, and then Thursday I got called in. I had a jury summons to go possibly be a juror, and then wouldn't you know it, your boy is gonna be on a jury in New York City for the next couple of weeks.
Here's the thing, and here's why I think you're gonna be. Here's why I knew you were gonna get picked. You can be very objective. You can be very objective.
I can.
And you don't get like they'd be like, oh well, do you have any like previous like any previous experience that would like cloud your judgment on this? And you'd be like, no, my judgment is perfectly acceptable. I am the vision. There is no clouding my vision.
There really isn't.
Like
I am the ship of Theseus, Jay.
Your Honor, move to object. He's a man and not a ship. It's a WandaVision reference.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Shing. It's a very clever pop culture reference. I get with it. Where were you last January? Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be on a jury.
Yeah, you're going to be the foreman too, and it's going to be great.
It's possible. I don't know.
Man, I'll be so proud of you.
I'm not juror number 1. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about right now, so I'm going to keep it general and maybe like after.
Oh, you're not allowed to talk about any of it.
Okay, maybe after
yeah,
it's done. I'm not going to. I think after it's over, I can talk about stuff. I'm going to have some stories to tell about the legal system.
Sure.
But just the jury selection, Guys, it's nuts. It's crazy. I already have some crazy ass stories about what just happened in getting selected. Okay, I really hope you're like, oh, great. Now that the trial's over, the verdict's been rendered. You guys are free to go, and there's no NDA or anything like that. Like you can, this is a public record of what the court case is, so you can discuss what have you with your loved ones and stuff like that. So I will have some stories of my time as a rural juror.
I want you to be the jury foreman that like reigns with an iron fist. Like I want you to like eat like when lunch comes, I want you to like take everybody's Jell-O and be like, only foreman gets to eat Jell-O.
I don't actually
Foreman rules.
I don't eat the Jello, so I'm just gonna
you
just hoard it.
Just throw it away.
Exactly. This is bad for all of you. None of you need this
That's what
sugar.
they say about being in a jury is that the first day you're in there, you gotta eat.
You find the biggest guy in the jury and you punch him in the nose. I'm the foreman now.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that selection process happens. I don't know if it's like the guy who was chosen first or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Who does? I guess I'll learn. I'll know, and I'll let you guys know how juries work. At least in New York City.
If you need me to sharpen a toothbrush for you to just
Okay.
get your way into
I
the
don't
jury.
know if I need a shiv for jury duty, but
You never know, man. It's Wild West in there. Who's to say?
quite possibly. It's the judge said it was going to be like 5 or 6 days over the next 2 weeks. So it's not like constantly. It's not like Monday through Friday, but
Okay.
it's only a couple days next week and a couple days the following week, right before Thanksgiving. But hopefully the case will wrap up right before Thanksgiving. And Andor, the thing is, I'm going to be at court. That sounds weird to say. The next 2 Wednesdays. So Andor will come out when it comes out. We're going to do our best to get that out as soon as possible, but I have to fulfill my civic duty and pass judgment on stuff.
Boo.
I know.
Civic duty,
We live in a society, Jay.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great you're doing your civic duty, and everyone should go do their jury duty. And if you need me to sharpen a toothbrush for you, just holler at your boy. I'll teach you to keister it. It'll be fun.
Oh, you're going to teach him? Wow, okay.
Teach you how to keister.
Well, now that
Anyways.
took a turn. So that's where I'm at, Jay. How
Yeah.
are you?
Oh, I'm freaking out that I might be having to edit Andor.
That was one of the possible solutions we came up with.
I will do it, but I don't want to do it.
Jay, you've been editing these.
I know.
And they've turned out great.
I know. But, well, you just do such... Here's the thing. What people don't realize is that, it's not getting past... making this stuff properly in a copyright capacity is not just, it's not as easy as you think. A large amount of your editing work is more standards and practices than it is the actual snipping and cutting. You were thinking of things from a meta algorithm YouTube perspective rather than just what's funny and what's good.
Yep.
Which is that, and that's the knowledge that I don't have. I have the software knowledge, but I'm worried that I'm gonna edit the episode that gets us another copyright strike.
Oh, if that were to happen, it would never even pass the first copyright. Disney is very good with that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I've
good.
never had a problem with Disney.
But they also usually play really nicely with us.
Thankfully, Disney, yes, it's been very cool. If something does not pass copyright with a Disney show, it's just no, they just claim it immediately before you even get to the chance of hitting publish. It's no, that's the show.
And that's super helpful. But I also think Disney, regardless of what ends up happening with all that, I think there was a reason we do all the Disney shows because they understand that I think. And I could be wildly wrong here.
We're really just guessing.
But I think Disney understands that what we do actually helps them more than hurts them. In that it if Disney's good at one thing, it is embracing, their fandoms quite well. And I think they know that we only help people like their stuff more.
That's true.
We are they're going to watch your episode and then they're going to watch us for a half hour, watch the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it only means that they're just going to be invested in that property for an extra half hour and aren't worried that we're making, $20 off.
At least I hope that's what they're thinking. I have no idea what Disney or these giant other corporations think about people who make reaction content, but I hope they realize that we are a positive force in the fandom.
I think we are.
I think we are too.
There are a lot of people that are I'm only watching this show so I can watch you guys watch it after the fact. And
Sure.
I'm okay. I was good on you, show. We're helping you the best we can.
Yeah, watch Andor. It's really good.
It's
very good.
really good. Andor I haven't looked forward to the next episode more than I have with Andor.
I'm still buzzing over so how many guards are on each level?
There's 12.
No more than 12. Andy Circus, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Prison break.
Steal those boots.
Woo, woo, woo.
Take their shoes. Let's go.
Take them shoes. Woo, woo, woo.
Take their souls. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Shark bait. Ooh,
Shoe theft.
Well, they're in a prison that's in the ocean, so maybe they could drown those Imperials. Maybe they get flushed.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Sure.
We'll see what happens
Who's
next
to
week.
say?
At some point, we will see sometime, maybe Wednesday, maybe 6 a.m.
I'm going to give me old electric slide, if you know
So we're doing okay.
We're having fun.
We're having a good time.
Yeah. Life's not bad.
Life is not bad.
Yeah. It's not bad.
All right.
That's good. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways.
Eddie Hoosers.
Eternals. 2021.
I could double check that right now if you want. I'll double check because it came out last year. But I will double check for you.
No way.
I'll double check for you. It came out last year.
See that you do.
Yep. Eternals. 2021. Eternals 2021.
Man, it feels...
I know. Shang-Chi came out 2 months before this movie.
No way.
Yes.
Feels like like they're...
I know.
And Shang-Chi was so much stronger of a movie. Oh my God, what a strong... Like, Shang-Chi was the one that I was worried about the most.
Yeah, because it was like, who is this guy?
It set the tone so hard and so fast.
And this was the next movie.
And this is what broke that momentum.
Hard.
And I would argue that we've had a hard time getting back to that.
Well, the next movie after Eternals was Far From Home.
Yes.
And like...
Not technical. I mean...
That was...
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're
right.
That's a
you're
movie
right.
that will never be on this podcast.
No.
Because
I wouldn't even dare.
I don't even know where to touch it. I don't want to. It was
perfect.
Perfect.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
That and Prey will never be on this show.
Prey was perfect.
Prey was perfect.
Note for note, beat for beat. That's all a movie needs to be.
Yeah. But I think before we get into the why this movie was not perfect and the issues that we had with it.
Because our producer, Brian, has specifically sent us a list of positive things.
Well,
Eternals. He was like, I don't want you to dunk too hard on this. It's like, don't dunk too hard.
Well,
the engines can't handle the dunking.
After this movie came out last year, we did a review of this movie on the channel. It was 35 minutes, and I rewatched it today.
I did too.
And a lot of people had some strong emotions about that video that we dunked too hard on the movie. And rewatching it today, I was like, you know what? I don't think we dunked too hard.
Tame.
Yeah, I think our criticisms were on point. I think the only thing that I would change now is that I would not say don't go see this movie. I would change my language to be like, I would not recommend having to go see this movie in the theaters right now. I believe you can wait to see this movie on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I'd be a little softer in that point, but I still hold to that point
because
there was a little too much.
That flag went down with a spike on the end.
Yeah,
and was
it did because the movie really, we were really like, why? And so there was that energy of like, I need a.
And therein, we were talking about it before the episode. It's like therein lies like the inherent like. The flux of this show is that like we are wildly positive people and we are trying to like pull out of this wildly negative conceit of a podcast.
Your movie's bad. We can make it better because we're better than you. We're better than you. We're better than you. And we're better than you. We're better than you. That joke's only gonna work when Ron better you. Who are you two? Camera 2 better than you.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, we have to remind ourselves to be like, hey, and I think, and I want to repeat this on air because it's a point I made and I think it's very good. The conceit of Fix It is not a dunk that like in the game to like break the backboard and like intimidate your opponents.
Right.
This is a dunk contest where we want to do flips. And like
tricks, and
flips and tricks with our dunk kicks.
Throw it off the backboard.
A little more elegant, a little bit more jubilant. as it were.
wear cape as we jump off the
But
from
this
the foul
movie
line.
makes me just not.
Because, well, Brian, wait, stop talking about the movie. We'll let
No.
Brian talk about the movie first.
All right.
Because we could, I feel it's on the precipice. We could just start going right
I
now.
know. Oh yeah.
So before we just start going, Brian, could you please hit us with that beautiful bean fun fact footage? I did such a good job.
Beautiful bean fun fact footage. I know. I wanted to hop in. I wanted
All
to
right.
be a buddy. I don't know.
Thank you, gentlemen. Today we are trying to fix 2021's Eternals, directed by Chloe Zhao and written by Chloe, Patrick Burley, and Kaz and Ryan Firpo. This movie cost $200 million and made $402.1 million. This movie stars Gemma Chan, a Snow, a Stark, Brian Tyree Henry, Kumail Nanjiani, of course Selma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, Lauren Ridloff, and about 200 more people. And if you care, the Rotten Tomatoes scores are very interesting. There's a huge gap between the critic score as well as the audience score. So the critic score is a 47%. It's the lowest rated MCU movie, and it's the only one to have that green splat considered rotten. Now, the audience score is a 77%, which is actually higher than some of the movies listed above this in the MCU when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes. Anyway, let's fix this thing. Back to you, gentlemen.
Terrible job, Brian.
What? Oh my God. Wow.
We were talking about being positive, and then I thought it'd be funny to just.
You know, you're right. It's funny.
to Brian.
Yeah.
You almost left out of your
I couldn't believe it. He's your first best friend.
I know, and
Wow.
he did a bad job on this episode. Yeah, he knows what he did. Yeah.
Okay. He knows what he did.
It was a wonderful job, Brian. We believe in you, even though Monster Squad sucks. All right, moving on.
Whoa. Oh, you're lucky we're talking about Eternals, or I
know.
would.
I know. You're lucky we're not talking about Monster Squad, because I break that backboard. Cagoose!
break board, assert dominance.
Were you ever any good at basketball?
Yeah, Jay, I was actually very good at basketball.
Oh, I was a genuine question.
Oh, yeah, I was good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I led the league in fouls. I was good at rebounds, and I like to throw elbows.
Ah.
Yeah.
I was good at getting down the court first and getting the alley-oop, and
Because you're like a little deer. You're like a little gazelle.
I was fast.
Yeah.
Little Adam go fast.
Stick but go fast.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
The Eternals.
Oh, that's right.
And why it was so divisive? Because, and I checked this beforehand, and I'm sure Brian just said this, or maybe he didn't. That's why he's so bad at this. This
He's
guy
talked about the cartoon gummy bears the whole time.
That's so weird.
He's bouncing
Here,
here, there,
there,
and
and everywhere.
Like,
Bro, we're talking about Turtles.
look,
man.
I love that show too, but like, bruh.
So this movie got a 47% on the Rotten Tomatoes score from the critics.
Yes.
I think on the audience score was more like an 86-ish, 80, somewhere in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between the critics and the people. And I sided on the critics because I think they kind of nailed why this didn't connect. Because this is the lowest score
Yeah.
for any Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. And I believe it will probably hold that title probably for all of the MCU.
From a critic's perspective?
From a critic's perspective.
Okay.
For all of the MCU, I don't think any movie will ever be this low scored on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, you never... look, cross your fingers.
I mean, they may make
You know?
Eternals too.
Well, but here's the thing.
I don't know.
And I was thinking about this. If they make Eternals 2 and they nail it, how much, like... Are you okay with that?
I don't know if they can.
That's the thing. Because I was like, if they really pull this out of a nosedive, do we care? And I was like, I don't think I care.
Well, I mean, it would be like a Suicide Squad situation where the first movie was really, really, really bad. And then, hey, James Gunn, can you write a sequel? Oh, sure. So everyone from the first movie's dead. And here we go.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying we have to kill all the characters in this movie, but just it's like we got to kill all the darlings.
Yes.
We salt the earth, and we start again.
Yeah, we're throwing this back into the kiln, and we're like reforming this into a new cup.
Yeah. I don't know if Marvel can really do that with this. But so let's okay. So why we didn't really enjoy this movie?
Why no like?
Why Adam and Jay stared at each
If you
other?
had to pick one thing, if you had to pick one thing that specifically tanked this movie for
Okay.
you, what is it?
It is that they went from, oh my god, Endgame, that was insane, right? The stakes were like half of all life in the universe. That was insane. To a couple months later, okay, so like the whole time that Earth's been here, there were actually like these sentient robots that had been working on behalf of the Celestials that actually wanted life to be on this planet the whole time so that the Earth could be an egg for a baby Celestial, and then there'd be enough of us eventually, and then the Earth would explode and we'd all die so another Celestial could be born. What? You went from half of all life being wiped out just on the planet to, oh, but wait, the whole time, this planet's actually an egg, and we all need to be here so that the Earth will explode so a new Celestial could show up. The danger level jumped too high, too fast.
Yes.
And it was such a complicated backstory for these characters and this story to even start to take place. That's like, what?
What are we even doing here? Well, there's a reason. I mean, it's the Earth X storyline, like with what they've done, what they did with the Eternals. But there was a reason that Earth X was very specifically a completely different universe. Like it wasn't, like obviously there's all, multiverse.
Sure.
But like,
course, yeah.
this was like a book. This book was specifically like in the conceit of like in the opening was like, this is not the Marvel universe that you know.
This is not 616.
We're
We are
doing
somewhere else.
We are doing something wildly different, and it was like those ramifications are so huge, and it was interesting to see. But it was all in a microcosm. Whereas this, it was like, what frustrated me the most about the ending of this movie, and it like them, turning a Celestial into a beautiful slab of garnet, like
Make some good counters.
yeah, or granite rather, or
Sure.
marble, or whatever.
Whatever
it was.
Cersei did.
Beautiful. Like, the kitchens. Can you
So
believe
many.
it?
Everyone gets a beautiful kitchen.
But if you are setting in this first of their movies, setting
Mm-hmm.
up to me that we live in a galaxy where there are huge celestial beings, and our planet is one of them, and they're the ones that created all life. I always keep saying, I was like, the biggest sin of Eternals is that it made me hate Moon Knight, and people go, "What?" and I'm like, that's an A to R, like jump. I'm aware that that's an insane thing to say, but like and I even said this during our reactions to it. We were watching Moon Knight. I was like, man, I'm so mad at Eternals right now. And Adam goes, why? And I was like, if we're in a world in which our planet is just a celestial egg, what are these gods? What are these? I shouldn't be thinking in terms of what are they in relation to these gigantic celestial bodies. It's like nothing means anything if we've already seen the echelon of like we've seen the ceiling.
Yeah, we saw this movie. The MCU for the first 3 phases did a fantastic job of growing out a little bit here and there, slowly. The threat gets a little bit bigger.
It's not even that it was slow. It was consistent.
It was consistent.
It was the speed. The speed was a pretty good clip.
Yeah.
But it was like you knew how far we were going to continue going.
Yes.
We all could walk at the pace. The treadmill, we knew what was happening with the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this movie turns the treadmill up to 12 out of nowhere.
Because we just used the Infinity Stones to save half of existence, and then Shang-Chi is an amazing film that's just, a small little story about Shang-Chi and his father and his mom, and sure, there's a dragon fight at the end, which is kind of like, okay, that was a little crazy,
Set up
but like,
this new little world.
that was cool. Like, what are these rings? We don't know, but there's 10 of them, and they're making a signal to somewhere to outer space. Oh no! But I can't wait to hang out with Shang again. This is gonna be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Woo boy! To like, okay, yeah. The celestial gods who started all of creation, who were in the universe before time started and before the Infinity Stones even started, like, what? Wait, what? we jumped too big. You grew the picture out too far. And here's the thing. In getting ready for this episode, I watched, and you can ask Amanda, I watched so many Eternal videos this weekend and read so many Wikipedia entries, Marvel Wikipedia entries. Like, who the heck are these guys? Because even after watching the movie, I don't know who and what these things are.
I came over to tape Andor, and Adam was just on the couch, and he was like, "We need to talk about Eternals right now." And I go, "No, we don't." I was like, "We're watching it tonight." And he goes, "No, I watched a lot of videos on it. Can I just talk at you?" And he just talked to me about Eternals for like 20 minutes.
Tuesday night into Wednesday, all my dreams were about the Eternals. Because I wrote my
and that's the dedication that we bring to you, the
to
listener.
you and to you, camera 2. Oh, I saved it. Ha!
I have no idea how I'm going to edit that, but that'll be fun.
It'll flow. I'll go from one camera to the
Oh,
next.
I hope. I'm not
You're
that
smooth,
good.
baby. You're smooth, baby.
Yeah, I edit Andor now, so you know. Please no.
So, I think this would be a good attempt of me to try to download to you in a more simplified version of what the Eternals are in the comics.
Okay.
Because I think this is because after doing days of research.
I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Oh, sure.
Because I feel like you have the energy right now of like a scientist, like at the beginning of like a
Marty.
It's like let me explain to you why this is gonna work, and it's not gonna go terribly wrong and turn me into a half fly, half man that's gonna want to kill the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Mousers. How do we build them?
So this movie actually has, they did actually a very good job of throwing in a lot of Eternals stuff in the movie.
Yes.
Like there's all of the things, like, yeah, all this stuff is in the comics.
Yes.
The way they arranged all the things, though, did not tell a good story.
Oh, yeah, it's all over the place.
So, but also, I forgot that the movie starts with a text crawl. That really okay, so the Deviants came from this weird realm, and then the Celestials brought these Eternals from a different realm. And it's like, this is what? Huh?
And what's frustrating about that is that I think we can both agree, this movie is the prettiest Marvel property that's ever been shot. All of these shots are a lot of these shots in this movie are incredible. A lot of the locations are amazing. Mm-hmm. You're telling me you're gonna fall back on a text crawl when you can give me a large sweeping shot and show me all of these things in some manner? You're telling me you have a character whose power is manifesting visions and being a very good storyteller, and they're not the ones telling this stuff at the beginning? You're telling me we could have 10 minutes of exposition that would both make us fall in love with a little sprite character and also like show us the magic of what they're capable of?
Yeah.
But you're just going to do a text crawl?
A text crawl and then a 3-minute scene of them just showing up, beating the absolute crap out of the things we just were told were deviants.
Yeah, they didn't seem like they were much of a threat.
Well, that's the other problem with this movie. The Eternals were OP from jump.
From jump.
So, but back up. This is what the Eternals are. This is from Marvel Comics. This is what they are. A long time ago, the Celestials came to Earth and made the Deviants. They messed with some proto-humans. They tinkered with them. They made the Deviants. Well, these guys are super smart and basically like their days mutants and took over the planet. The Celestials saw this as like, oops, maybe we should fix that. They come back to Earth and they make the Eternals. These OP characters that other proto-humans, they just like, great, now you be heroes to stop the Deviants. And so then they fought a bunch and the Eternals won. Hooray! Deviants are like, living in caves now and like just kind of doing their thing. They're not extinct, but they are handled and contained.
Yeah.
So now there are a bunch of Eternals on the planet. Well, some of them have different ideas about what to do and stuff like that. Should we rule? Should we just kind of be? And they have a little bit of a civil war. And then one side wins. And then like the other side goes, you know what? We're leaving. We're going to go to Titan. So the half of the Eternals go to Titan. And they have their own society. and then they have a civil war, and everyone dies, and then somebody else has like an idea of like, you know what? Okay, so the Eternals can't procreate. We're just kind of alive. So maybe we should just try to figure out how to, keep our race going and like have babies.
This is not a very good, a ringing endorsement of Eternals. In
Sure.
that I'm gonna be honest with you.
Sure.
I checked out
Great.
halfway through.
But
what you're
this
saying.
is still.
But I know. I
Yeah,
know.
I know.
I'm like.
I know.
I'm like. Oh man.
This is the simplified version of it.
I don't care.
I know. No. But here's the thing. No, but here's the thing. You're right. This is a simplified version of stuff, but it's like this is still so dry and deep. I'm trying to do my best of simplifying the stuff.
I show up to Marvel for the plucky kid from Brooklyn to get powers.
Yes.
I show up to like for a school of youngsters for kids who like
Are
got
ostracized,
powers
yeah.
and don't know how to deal with them. I show up for the human being trying to remedy the fact that they have been gifted the powers of gods.
Yes.
I just
Don't show up for gods who are lording
who are
over all of
trying
Earth.
to like
Yes.
deal with humans even though
Yes.
they can never relate in any way.
Yep. So they try to be. They was like, we really want to procreate ourselves. So one guy goes back to Titan. There's one survivor. They bone, and they have Thanos and Star Fox as kids. That's their origin, and they go off and do their own thing. Thanos is, of course, super evil. Back on Earth, our Eternals are just kind of here and make sure the deviants are kept in check, and they just kind of are around. And that's the simplified version of things.
Cool, man.
Oh, and there's the Celestials are around, and they do stuff, and they can change their size. They're not always just Galactus-sized. And there is one Celestial buried on Earth, not in the middle of it. It's not an egg. It's just Tiamat, the sleeping Celestial.
Yeah.
And because he argued with the Celestials and was like, I think we should do something else. And the other Celestials are like, nope, go to sleep, and we're gonna bury you in the Earth. Eternals. Yeah. The Eternals are not a very popular brand in Marvel, and I say that because they only show up every 5 or so years for maybe like a 12, 16, 20 issue run.
And then it gets canceled.
And then they're gone again.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they chose to have the Eternals be in the MCU.
And that's what we were saying very early on, but we also said that about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
And those are probably my favorite Marvel movies.
Absolutely.
So like it was like one of those things where I was like, I am not looking forward to Eternals, but I am also looking forward to being so. That was part of the charm, in my opinion, of Guardians of the Galaxy. Was like halfway through the movie, I went, "Son of a bitch, they made it work."
Yeah, this is fun.
I was like, "Holy crap, they made Guardians of the Galaxy work." No, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That if you ever read comics before the MCU come out, and you knew that they were like, and someone came back from the future and was like, "Oh, the Guardians movies are great," you'd be like, "There's no way." But then, like, even Eternals, even more so. But I was like, man. I can't wait to be so wrong. And wow, we were so
You're right.
right.
Well, here's the thing. What's the theme of the Eternals?
Yes, I don't know. And that's like kind of the core. If I had to pick one thing, truthfully, it's that I have a hard time remembering all of these characters' names.
Name all the characters that you can.
I can do it now because I grounded it into my brain because I didn't want to look stupid on this podcast. But it's Gilgamesh, Athena,
Yep.
Icarus,
Yep.
Cersei, Sprite, Mercari,
Yep.
Druig,
Yep.
Fastos. It's so frustrating that I have a hard time remembering his name because I think he's he's easily one of the most interesting out of all of them, in my opinion. I got all of them right.
And
there's one more. Did I say Gilgamesh?
You did.
Oh, and Kingo.
Yes.
Again, another one of the like.
You did it.
But
who's the name of the bad guy?
Deviant Man. Tentacle Boy. Yeah, the Dr. Spiky Octopus.
Would it blow your mind to know that he's actually a character in Marvel? He's actually like a really big deal he's a big deviant. Like he's like one of the main deviants in the comics.
That actually bums me out.
Yep.
That seems like a huge missed opportunity.
Oh, it's massive.
Because what are they going to do with the second one of these movies?
All the deviants are dead. And
So,
yep. So,
but the Eternals will return.
So there are too many characters in this movie.
100%.
And not only that, I think this movie suffers from the Superman problem.
Oh, okay.
In that all these characters are OP from jump.
Yes.
And this movie.
And they don't have any good bad guys?
Yes, this is what your problem with Superman is. They're all OP.
Yes.
They don't take any damage.
Yeah.
Except for, when the plot demands they get killed by the deviant guy.
Yeah.
And they just punch and shoot and do stuff, but there's no character behind them.
Yeah. The stakes are like crazy low.
Yeah. But they didn't need to be. Like, the Eternals die all the time in the comics.
Wait a minute. I did say steak.
You did say steak.
Okay.
Did you do it on purpose, wanting me to...
Yeah, I was hoping for it.
Okay. Sorry, bud.
I'll never forgive you.
I know.
Anyways, what were you saying? Superman problem.
This is this movie suffers the same problem from bad Superman movies.
Yeah.
Because there's no
I just
real.
It's the kind of thing where they were like, they killed Gilgamesh. Can you believe it? And I was like,
who's Gilgamesh?
I was like, it does bum me out, but like from a convention, it's like the old Brody Stevens bit. It's like, you should be laughing on cadence alone. I was like, it had the cadence of me caring, but I didn't actually care.
Yeah.
Which is such a bummer, because I think I really... And you mentioned this after we did the watch along with our Discord. If you want to come every week, usually on the Discord, I do a watch along with Peaches we sync up our videos and just chat along in Discord and have a great time. The Eternals one was really fun. There was a lot of
memes,
folks.
there's a lot of jokes. It's a good
A
time.
lot of memes and gifs. It's a great time. But definitely come check it out. But after we watched it, you were like, "Is it weird that I'm sad?" And I was like, "No, because that's exactly how I feel."
Yep.
Because I feel like we were robbed of a lot of cool characters with interesting relationships to the other characters, and like we could have gotten a full like family vibe from these Eternals.
Yeah.
And they get there, they like on all the different little plots, they give you just enough to be like, we could have been a flower, but we're just little seedlings. Like, there was just enough to show you like what could have been, but then it didn't. But then the garden just like kind of crapped out.
Yeah, there was not enough time for all the things in this movie. This movie was taking massive swings and missed all of the balls.
Yeah, but boy, was it pretty.
Sure. But at a certain point, like it was desaturated like a DC movie. They had some really bad DC references in it. And by the time like it gets to like what's actually going on, I didn't care anymore, because like you haven't given me anything about these characters. And I believe it was a direction issue of just like, hey, none of these characters have any life in them. Not true. Wait, Makari did. Makari lit up the screen every time she was on there. Other than that, everyone was really sad to be there.
Yeah.
Thena was like, oh no, I got the mad weary. And Gilgamesh was like concerned about Thena. And Sprite.
And we could have seen like
was
what
just
they're
kind of like
Sprite.
What
What made me sad about Gilgamesh was that I was like, we're not going to learn any more about his relationship with Thena, because that's fascinating to me. I need is it romantic? Is it platonic? I don't care either way. I just want to know.
The only thing we know about Gilgamesh is two things. One, he likes Thena. Two, he likes pies. And that's it.
R.I.P. that pie. That pie felt real good.
It did.
I don't know who did the stunt work on that pie, but
good job, pie.
Good job, pie. Up high, pie. Shall we fix Eternals?
Yeah, we should fix Eternals. We should do it. Well, here's the thing. It can be fixed. There is a version of this story that really, really works.
Yeah.
That does incrementally move the goalpost a little bit of what the threat level is for Earth 616.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Like, hey, here's some new characters from a different aspect of the universe with something we've only seen a little bit of, because we've seen the Celestials in like the Guardians movie. when they got the Power Stone. You're like, we saw a vision of them. So like we've seen them before, and they're about to show up again in Thor on Omnipotent City. Because remember, two of them just like after the goats sailed past, the two Celestials kind of like, what was that?
Oh yeah.
Whoa, hey everybody! Oh, Zeus dead. This is how Eternals talk. Apparently, it's either really
But
deep.
also, what is that? But also, why are you all? What are all of you? If we created all the, what?
What indeed?
What? Why?
Chicken butt.
Indeed.
Okay, Jay. Fix Eternals.
Okay.
Okay.
The one thing I think that like the original this Eternals movie was flirting with and conceptually would have liked to have been was a slower character piece to actually like take time with all of these characters and get to know them.
Sure.
And I think the problem is that they had broadened the scope so far that there was too much to do that we could not kind of relish our time.
Sure. Okay.
I am zooming in my focus of this first Eternals movie.
The first Eternals movie.
Yes. Because they're all getting trilogies. That's how it works.
I didn't know that. Okay. Okay.
I will say this though. My conceit, because I think the Thanos question as to why they did not help bring all that life back,
Yes.
is too big. When they were like, "Oh, we shouldn't," they told us not to get involved. I'm like, they would have told you to get involved.
Yes.
I was like, the general conceit of this movie was that all the intelligent life on the planet was what was going to bring your baby to.
Yeah.
They would have told you to intervene.
Yeah.
My entire trilogy happens in ancient history.
Oh. Okay.
The Eternals are
Wow.
They are truly ancient God. They are the OG Avengers,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
So we open up, like I was saying earlier, and I didn't want to like spoil anything, but we open up on, and I'm recasting Sprite. That I feel for that actress, but she just did not.
She was put in a bad position.
She just did not give the performance that could really pull. That was the only performance I didn't really enjoy.
I mean, everyone was acting like a wooden robot.
I don't know. I thought everyone was. There were some good performances in there. I think, but hers in particular, I was like, she's just not. She was not cast properly. Poor thing. But we are opening on the Eternals arriving on Earth.
Sure.
And this, like, we're getting the narration from Sprite of where they came from, how they got here, and she's like telling like kind of an ancient like bonfire of people, of who they are, why they're here, and what they were sent to do.
Yep.
And like, do you know all these like ancient beasts that have been like terrorizing your village that you've been painting on the walls and things like that? Like, we're here to fight them. And like, we're also seeing, and she describes all of to these first people that they're meeting as they're getting off of their ship, who they are, and what they're here to help with, and what they're here to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's, and I like the idea of them leaning a little bit more into like the classic kind of in a like a non-monotheistic like God's
Pantheon?
A pantheon. Like kind of leaning into more of the stereotypes of the pantheon, because like Athena was obviously like, oh, you're Athena, but everyone else is kind of like, who are you supposed, where was this, like,
well,
it's
Makari
like,
is Mercury,
obviously.
Yes.
Makari, but Makari is actually there for knowledge, or for language rather. Like, which I think really, really interesting, being the only deaf person and speak. ASL is like, or like sign language is one of the most like, is one of the first languages for like, it's the perfect way for her to spread that around the world with her speed.
Yeah.
And then kind of get everyone on the same page. And then we have like, oh, like this is Kingo. Like he's leaning more into the Dionysus. I think in my writing, he's going to be a little bit more of a drunk.
Yeah.
I think
but he's like Fun Bobby.
He's like Fun Bobby. Yeah, exactly. And so basically we she's setting all of them up to these first people that they find.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Basically. And it gets to a point where there's a little bit of a montage of them fighting. Like, we're here to fight the deviants, so we get like a pretty rad fight.
Sure.
Yada yada yada, and time basically in a montage fashion fast forwards to Babylon.
All right.
Because we got Babylon in the original movie.
We did.
Babylon is where we are staying for this movie.
Okay.
It is Babylon is the only scope of this movie. And now, when you have a director like Chloe on this movie who really wants to make an art house film,
Sure.
I imagine us panning up into Babylon. It's like we became gods among men, but we did our best to help them. We're here, like, we're not here to interfere with them, but we're also here to like assist them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then Babylon was our first triumph.
Okay.
And it pans into Babylon, and I want to do a large like celebratory feast for Icarus and Kingo coming back for slaying a deviant somewhere.
Okay.
I want a single shot
All right.
riding into Babylon, and in this single shot, I want to set up every storyline that I want to touch base with all of the Eternals.
Okay.
And I want to slow burn start all of their storylines.
Okay.
And this movie is going to be far more of a character piece.
Great.
Of what it's like to be a god in this Marvel universe in which there are no other superpowered people.
Right.
Specifically, where do I want to start?
Yeah.
Obviously, look, the Icarus and
Cersei.
Why I can't remember all their names. There's too many of them.
Too many of them.
Icarus and Cersei. Obviously, there is a love story there.
Sure.
But because what the heck else are you supposed to do with these characters?
I don't know. They come out of the pod and they're like, "Hi, I'm Clem. Hi,
Yeah.
Isn't it pretty? I'm Clem.
Yeah.
I'm Icarus." Like,
And I
okay,
think
bud.
the general
Cool.
the general divisiveness between the two of them is that like Icarus is aggressively trying to be the golden boy of the Eternals.
Okay.
He's trying to toe the line and be the soldier that they need to defeat the deviants.
Okay.
Whereas Cersei is not Cersei, right? No, I said it right.
You did.
There's too many names, man. Whereas Cersei is more like, no, like we don't we can let the deviants come to us. Like there's a lot of things that like we can help like on this level, and that, like what being a good Eternal is kind of their main consensus, and like both of their relationships to Ajax, who's obviously big boss man. We see Sprite is obviously, I'm keeping that whole Sprite is in love with
Icarus.
But
we really see it this time.
But she is best friends, like really close friends with Kingo.
Sure, yeah.
And Kingo is doing his best to be like Icarus, but he is just not he's drunk.
He's a Mikey trying to be a Leo.
He's a Mikey trying to be a Leo.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has like a big brother complex with Icarus.
Yes.
And is always trying to prove himself to both himself and to Icarus, and it's not helping anybody at all.
Makes total sense.
And then my favorite thing, I think, and I can't remember his name right now.
Fastos.
God damn. Fastos. He's my favorite Eternal, and I can't remember his damn name. I think he's really cool.
Okay.
And I got so frustrated that his storyline was cut so short.
It really was.
We find that Fastos, he arrives to Babylon like during this party, and is completely downtrodden and is like not okay. And he's like met like with this whole feast, and he's like, this isn't what I wanted out of this. And Ajax is like, why are you back? And she's like, is everything okay in Atlantis? And he was like, you were right. I gave them too much too quickly. and it literally it's underwater, literally,
Nice.
and it's like,
Yep.
and then we don't mention it again, and he's like, he was like, there is this part there. He was like, there is this small. He was like, I'm gonna try again when I have the when I'm feeling right, but like right now, like I don't trust humanity right now after what happened there. I don't.
That's good, dude.
And so, but his storyline that we're going to be getting is that he is going to fall in love with it. He's going to be like aggressively distrusting of humans,
Sure,
but eventually fall in love with. He's going to find a nice man, and fall in love.
Great.
And that's where he is going. And then eventually he's going to be like, let's try again in Wakanda. So we're using Eternals to set up this Atlantis and Wakanda struggle.
Well,
right? That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
And that explains what it also it,
Like
it
Phastos gives him a little
Atlantis.
oh cool vibranium. A little boost,
But
little boost.
It's like I'm not going to give them tech. I'm going to give them the materials to make the tech, and then they or like I found this thing that they can learn how to.
Yes.
Yeah.
The knowledge that it would take to figure out how to use the vibranium to make the tools.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the basic in Druig I'm setting up, Druig, his whole thing is that obviously he's mind control, but he is dealing with the fact that he is not sure what he's supposed to do. When it's like, and Mercari is like kind of like, quote unquote chasing after him as the speeder, but you know what I'm saying? And it comes to light. He's like, it is very clear why you are here. You served an amazing purpose to like teaching how this world to communicate, and getting that started and spreading the word, which I just think the poeticness of the deaf character spreading the word to me, like I love Mercari so much, and
everyone seems to love her,
and I wish she had more to do in that movie. Like she was like, oh, she was on the ship waiting to go back, and I was like, but you didn't want to but why? But why?
We don't know anything about her.
But why?
Yeah.
But why? What's her favorite flavor of ice cream? But
she loves ice cream.
Something.
Every speeder loves ice cream.
Everyone loves ice cream.
Well, that too.
I mean,
but speeders especially.
But so basically, like her purpose is so obvious, and Druig's is so amorphous.
Yeah.
And he's like keeps trying to involve himself in struggles in the city and things like that. And slowly but surely, they're building up their library inside of the ship.
Okay.
It's like it's the Library of Babylon, and so we have basically defeated for what we thought were the deviants in the area.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, so now what? And we slowly start to see the Eternals deal with peacetime a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Icarus does not do well, and eventually just bails.
Yeah.
Which Cersei is like not okay with, but she's also, this is where she comes into like
her own. She
comes into her own. She was like, this is where I serve my purpose as an Eternal.
Yeah.
And Icarus cannot handle it because he was like, okay. And then
what do I fight?
Yeah, and Kingo and Sprite try to go after and find Icarus to bring him back.
Sure.
But we see Fastos. Fastos. We see Fastos and Cersei and really start to like build Babylon to greatness.
Sure, yeah.
But we also see Druig trying to involve himself and like trying to basically like, oh, we need this built in this certain amount of time, and Druig's like, oh well, I'll just mind control these people, and like he builds a building overnight with mind control people, and Ajax is like, this is not what you're here for, and he's like, I don't. Then what am I supposed to do? You gave me mind control powers, but every time I use them, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yep.
And she's like, it will become clear eventually. Like, you just need to, like... And so Druig eventually eventually like just decides to just be like, fine, whatever. Like it's not like he bails.
Sure.
So we've got Eternals leaving the city.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
when Kingo and Sprite go off to find
Icarus.
Icarus, and as I'm realizing this, I was like, what the hell are Gilgamesh and Athena doing the
I
whole
was
time?
gonna ask what happened to Athena.
I don't
and
know, man.
Gilgamesh?
I don't know. There's too many Eternals.
There's too many Eternals.
Well, I don't know. I'll remedy that later, I guess.
They're out making pies.
There's too many Eternals.
Don't worry, I solved that in mine.
I'm sure you do. I think I also solved it ipso facto. Maybe just Athena and Gilgamesh aren't real. Maybe they realize that they leave. They open up a wonderful bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Out in Jerusalem, and bring up they have a manger.
I hope you all like pies.
I hope you all like pies. When Kingo and Sprite go off to find Icarus and
Yes.
bring him back, they find more deviants. Like they go a little bit farther than they've been. They find more deviants, and they find that they are all emanating from like this kind of like there's like this like community like kind of cultish vibe. Like they're slowly building like their own little pyramid. Like they're basically like building kind of their own like cultish city, but there's also deviants around, and they're like, what? I don't know what this is. Like, what is this?
Okay.
And so like they're fighting the deviants. Icarus eventually comes back and realizes they're in trouble, saves their asses, but then they're like, there's all these deviants here, and Icarus is like, okay, great, like we can get back down to business. And so wait, what's up?
I think I see what Icarus might be up to. Continue. If I was watching a movie, at this point I'd be like, wait a second.
Oh no, I don't.
Wait a second. Okay, keep going.
No, I actually don't have it.
My spidey sense just tingled.
It shouldn't.
Oh no, you sure?
I mean, maybe it would.
I got my Peter tingles going.
Oh no.
I'm just full of Peter tingles right now.
And so we see they return, inform everyone. I think there's like I like the idea of like a big dinner. I like the all on like a big dinner table having a big family dinner and big discussion about it, while like all the people of the city are also like feasting like down below.
Sure.
I love that idea.
Okay.
Love that shot in my mind.
Okay.
I'm like, well, they're the deviants. Like we have to do something about that.
Yes, we do.
And as they're having that, like deviants attack the city.
Oh, no.
we get another action. This is
Yeah,
just
we gotta get a set
this
piece.
is just like they let one go to be like, and now, we couldn't remember how to get back there, but now we can, because we were basically fleeing deviants the whole time. I was like, I don't really know where we were, but now we can just follow this deviant back.
Nice.
We get to, basically, they attack this like village and basically get beat back a little bit.
Okay.
Druig finding out about this, basically mind controls a good amount of Babylon and has them arm themselves to bring like a standing army.
Holy crap.
To
back up the Eternals.
To back up the Eternals. And like Ajax is like screaming at him the whole time, like, this is not what you're supposed to
No.
We're not supposed to help, like, we're not supposed to interfere with what these people do. We're supposed to help them, blah, blah, blah. And like the whole time, like Fastos is his newfound lover is like being like swept away, and he's like freaking out, and he's like basically like is I'll never forgive you. Like basically like it's the first like breaking up of the family. Like Fastos is like, Druig, like,
how dare you?
Like, I can't believe you've done this. Like there's a huge battle, and I think like eventually Druig sees like how many of the people that he's brought are getting killed by like all of these cultists.
Yes.
And he like completely has a mental breakdown and just bails.
Okay.
And it's pure chaos, and all the Eternals have to come and not only fight deviants, but also save all the citizens of Babylon from this nightmare they just woke up in. Like in a battle with all of these cultists, and we find out that as Icarus and Kingo, and I guess it's Gilgamesh and Athena.
Yeah, she's doing like this whole like.
They're finally back from their bed and breakfast.
She's just doing a thing.
They're finally back. as they fight their way into, they find out that it is the cult of the Ebon Blade, and it's an ancient sword. It's more that like I appreciate that they were trying to set up the Black Knight. In this
is
movie.
that the sword's name?
Yeah.
Oh.
I appreciate that they were trying to set up the Black Knight in this movie.
That's
I
what they were doing?
I wanted to pay homage to it.
Oh, okay.
Sure. But basically, Deviants found this little cult.
Oh, okay.
And empowered them to like have more influence and do more things.
Okay.
And so we find out like what exactly happened there. It's like they're like, well, how like Deviants don't. How did you make an agreement with Deviants? And then what's the name of the evil Deviant man?
Crow.
There we go.
K-R-O. Crow.
It eventually like comes to like eventually Crow shows themselves, and there is a huge fight, a huge Deviant fight, and the leader with the Ebon Blade eventually gets destroyed.
Okay.
The blade, of course, tossed
Away!
into the sands.
Yes.
Only to whisper to its new wielder, and all of the Eternals are basically like scattered to the winds in this fight a little bit.
Sure.
And the only one left against Crow is Icarus.
Okay.
The two of them fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it eventually comes that like they're just going blow for blow.
Mm-hmm.
No one's really winning here.
Okay.
And then Crow is finally just like, oh well, I mean, this is so futile. We're not gonna beat each other. Like we're two sides of the same coin. And Icarus is like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, we were both created by the Celestials, who like they made us first, and then we got out of hand, and then they made you to take care of us. And it's like, he's like, I don't even want to know what they're gonna make to take care of you guys. Like, at this point, it's just like, what are we? I don't know. He was like, this whole cult thing sounded fun when we started it, but now, I don't know. It just seems so futile, doesn't it? And Icarus is just like, what? No, that's not true. And Crow's finally just like, yeah, you have never been able to really understand anything I say. Maybe next time. And then Crow's out. And the Deviants are taken care of one by one. And then we finally get Icarus goes back to Babylon. And all the Eternals are licking their wounds. Druig's gone.
Yep.
Phastos' lover makes it back, thank God. And Gilgamesh and Theanor were doing exactly, whatever their storyline was, got wrapped up real good.
Yeah, it was awesome. They went and they made up over pies.
And
sure.
Ajax, basically Icarus and Ajax have the conversation that they have in the movie, and she explains to him, exactly what the truth of what they're here to do, and what's happening to Icarus first.
Right.
And he's like, and he is still towing. He's Captain America. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He is still towing the humanity line. Mm-hmm. And Icarus is like, we were sent here to help these people, and you're telling me that I'm just supposed to stand by and just hope their numbers grow so we can destroy everything we've built here? And Ajax is like, we've done it hundreds, almost thousands of times, and we'll continue to do it until, I guess, the universe ends. And Icarus is like, I'm not gonna sit idly by while you just casually destroy
everything we've built
here. And she's like, well, that's new. And Icarus freaks, and then he's off planet.
Okay.
It's a similar ending. He's not going to throw himself into the sun.
Yeah.
But he's the only one that still knows the secret of the Eternals.
But he's gone. Be out.
Yeah. What I'm setting in for the next movie.
Okay.
What I'm setting up for the next movie is that eventually, like, as the as Babylon continues on, it eventually comes to pass. In the second movie, Druig is our bad guy.
Yeah.
And we find out that he has been the reason that Alexander the Great is so great and has been doing such a great job of leading armies across the world is that Druig is his second-hand man, and he's helping Alexander the Great, which also ties into Moon Knight, and we can have whatever is going on with that, with all of that stuff. The second movie,
action.
The second movie could set up all because it's going. They go to Alexandria. And that's eventually where the ship is going to land and become the Library of Alexandria that eventually burns.
I thought when you said the Library of Babylon, I'm like, oh, Jay, no, it's the Library of Alexandria. You sneaky little bugger.
Yeah, because they have to bring the ship there in order to like take out the army, and that's when the ship burns. And that's when they freak.
Ah, okay. So then what's the third movie?
I don't know yet.
Okay. We'll find out when Eternals 2 maybe.
I just know that I want to keep it
in the past.
In the past. It will deal with Icarus's return.
Sure. Is Icarus not in the second movie?
No.
Oh, wow.
That's how you pare it down.
Okay.
I think if anything, it's like you can almost in this first one kind of like lay off of Thena and Gilgamesh a little bit, and the second one can be a little bit more focused on. You can kind of pick and choose who you want to be focus on in all of these things. Like, so
we find out more about their pie making business.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that my Eternals is like they just don't leave Babylon.
That's a lot easier than
and the inciting incident of the end of the movie is him finding out, because that's just the knowledge of that is huge.
Yes,
it's so huge.
Yes,
that's so
if that was part of the actual movie of just the information that there's now a ticking clock on Earth.
Huge.
That
is so good.
That's good because it just expands it like maybe a couple more steps. But like, oh no, it's not coming. It's in the future. We have a problem that we all have to solve eventually. Not these group of 10 people we just met solving it immediately.
Yep.
When the Earth would have been destroyed anyways, because physics and that much mass coming out of the world would have been destroyed anyways. It was already too late. That's very interesting. Good job, dude. Way to tie that stuff in. That's very clever.
It's fun. And I think, and in my world, I think the only two Eternals I want still around in modern Marvel times are Icarus.
Okay.
And it's Icarus and Kingo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I think it's Icarus who is trying. I think you have two sides of the same coin there. Okay. They're both trying to be like the Golden Boy gods, but one's really good at it, but like a little bit pragmatic and a little bit too rigid.
Right.
And then you have Kingo who is not as good at it, but he has a bigger heart.
He does.
And that's all you need out of the Eternals.
Yep.
That's all you need.
Yep.
And also Kumail is just so good in the movie.
He's very good.
That I just want to make sure that
of the Eternals, he's the one that's most human.
100%.
But still not that human as compared to like Jon Snow and the valet.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you may have cribbed some of my notes, sir.
Oh, in what way?
We actually came up with a couple of the similar ideas.
Oh, no!
I'm coming at it from a very different angle.
Okay.
But there were a couple of similar points of like, oh, yeah, well, we just need to just do this a little bit and have it, this would make a little bit more sense. You'll see where they come in. But, so my fix attempts to answer the big question.
Oh.
Why weren't you there for Thanos?
Oh, okay, great.
I'm sticking, this is modern day.
All right.
We're going to start very
Yeah, you're right. I cribbed your notes.
We're going to start very similarly.
Okay.
Where it's going to be, I think it's going to be Cersei. Now, in this movie, it's going to be more like a Marvel movie.
Okay.
Chloe is not directing this.
Oh, all right.
It is a different director. The colors are brighter. The Marvel humor is more present, even though, because it's a little bit in Eternals, but it's the tone. When those Marvel moments pop up, when people are just kind of sassing and having fun, like, it doesn't feel right. No. Because, like, when Kingo tells jokes and Kumail's being Kumail, it's like, this doesn't feel right here, because, like, the rest of the movie is totally different. So this time...
jokes don't feel safe.
That's a good way of putting it.
Like, when people are making jokes, I'm like, do you know what's at stake here, butthole? Like, why would you make a joke right now? And I'm like, oh, that's not a good feeling at all.
No.
I hate that.
Uh-huh.
I don't. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, when the Avengers joke around, I still feel like they're going to save the world.
Yeah.
That just hit me like a train.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Because they were trying to have jokes.
Yeah, they
but
were
it was
trying to be like, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, that's not what we...
That's
like,
not what this movie's going to do.
Eternals is like when, like, you're trying to, like, get to know, like, a new teacher. And, like, you make a joke, and they're like, that's not funny. We're trying to learn here. And you're like, oh, no.
I read everything wrong. And
I meant this good. I was just trying
to be a good boy. I'm real sorry.
No.
Oops. What time is that? Oh, no, it's not math time. Okay, bye.
What's this pencil? I'm just going to put it in my eye really quick.
Wiggle.
Is that good? Is that make a good boy? Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Okay.
That's like the worst feeling in the world. Oh no!
Oh, this is gonna be the slow pencil, everybody. Do
You know what? I am happy to be here. I promise. Oh no!
So the movie opens. It's the happy Marvel theme or whatever. Or maybe we could do like I'm just coming up with this now. Maybe we do like a musical montage of like a lot of old school music that kind of kicks into like a modern day.
Into a modern.
Yes. Because we're moving through time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie starts off. I'm just gonna make the executive decision right now. It's Cersei, and she just comes and she just sits down. Right, she Rikers a chair and sits down and looks right to camera, or maybe just right above camera, and just says, "Thank you for meeting me. I really appreciate your time. You probably have no idea who I am, but this is 100% true.
I was here first.
But I know this is going to be really weird, and by the end you'll believe me. But okay, here we go. So I'm an Eternal, and then much like you, it's just like, hey, here's that opening crawl, told from Cersei's point of view to someone who's sitting there, to us, the audience. But like, she's clearly talking to somebody across the table who,
like in an interview, not like a TED Talk situation.
No, like they're sitting down for tea. Like they're out. This is New York City. They're outside at a cafe.
So not an interrogation. Like
no. This is outside. Okay. They're sitting at a nice table. They're having tea.
Love it.
Pretty much straight to camera, and just goes through. This is what the Eternals are. The Celestials, because they kind of know what Celestials are, because they just messed with all the stones, so like they are kind
of aware. And also, Carol has been out there.
Yeah.
So she can confirm.
And
or deny.
Thor, like the information about the.
Thor would know too.
Yeah, they would know about Celestials, but they're maybe not intimate about all the stuff yet.
Yeah.
But they are aware of them.
Gotcha.
So Cersei just downloads all the information, showing and telling like. The Celestials came to Earth a really long time ago. They messed with some proto-humans that created the deviants, which was a big problem. They started like enslaving all the humans that were around back then. So the Celestials came back, and then they created us to deal with that problem. And we were really cool. There was me and Icarus, and like, oh yeah. And by the way, some of these names are going to sound kind of familiar because we've been here for hundreds of thousands of years, and some of our names have kind of gotten involved with mythologies of different cultures and stuff. Like,
oops.
Yeah, sorry about that, but like you'll find out it was kind of our job.
Why am I apologizing?
Yeah, it was kind of our job. And here,
I feel like, are you imbuing maybe a character onto Cersei?
Yes, Jay, I am.
What a revolution!
I know. She is like kind and caring,
there?
and like no, she's kind of like a teacher.
Yeah,
and like. Going through stuff. Like she introduced. No, here's the thing. I'm only picking 6 Eternals to be in this movie.
I honestly, after I just went through my fix and realized that I'd forgotten to, probably a great idea.
Here are the 6 that make the cut.
All right.
Clearly Cersei.
I guess.
Well, if
you write her better, yeah.
Yeah, she's more of a character now.
Yeah, maybe she's
having fun. She's teaching,
fun.
like
confident.
In the comics, like. She's widely known. She's had a lot of partners. Like people like her. So like she and Tony have a decent friendship. So like she can be friendly. She knows lots of stuff. She's a good like touchstone between the Eternals and humanity.
Sure.
So we're gonna start that here. So clearly Cersei.
I'm into it.
Icarus.
Yeah.
Ajax.
Okay. Well, obviously
she has to be in there.
She has to be in there.
Gilgamesh, because he has to be in this movie. because if we're talking about, oh, and by the way, some of our names have gotten kind of wrapped up in
Gilgamesh
history.
also
Gilgamesh
helps.
is kind of a big name from history.
Yeah.
So like in the showing and telling, we're like, oh, and Gilgamesh, like, oh wait, the actual Gilgamesh, like, yeah, he was like a really cool guy.
That
Like,
was he had a very exciting weekend once, and he has not shut up about it.
Yes,
Yes.
there's Marvel humor here.
Yes.
Because she's a character and really cares about humanity and knows how to interact with humans well.
Yes.
Thena
Okay.
and
Just because I think Angelina Jolie is slept on. She's very like.
yes.
I like watching her fight with the cool stuff.
Yes.
It's fun.
Yes.
It's really good.
And for the same reason, Gilgamesh is like, you're like, oh yeah, Athena. Yes, it's the same thing, but like, but there's no A. It's just Thena. And I was good leaving it there, but after doing the watch along every week on Discord of the movie we're about to do on this podcast, you should join us on Discord. The way people were reacting to Makari. And like everyone really like that was if there was one character from the movie everybody loved, it was Makari. It's like, you know what?
And
I don't
also-
think she needs to be in the movie, but like people really loved her.
Yeah.
So and like after watching it and after kind of talking, it was like, oh, she did light up the screen every time she was on there.
And also, the MCU doesn't have a good speeder.
They do
and
not.
she fits
the other
that
one
bill.
died. Didn't even make it out of the first movie.
Yeah, she
And
fits that bill real good.
We'll keep the same effects for how they did
Yeah.
super speed because it was really good.
Like the fact that this movie is what we have and our fixes are out of the picture. Like Mercari is the only Eternal I need in the MCU. I'm good without the other ones.
yeah.
Like I like Kingo because I like Kumail, but also if I have to pick.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep going. I'm sorry.
So those are the 6. There's no Sprite. There's no Druig. There's no Fastos, and there's
That
no
sucks.
Kingo.
I like fast stuff.
Because they don't need to be here. Kingo didn't really do anything in
Well,
the
to
movie.
be fair, the interesting thing about Fastos in mine was that I like Fastos being the impetus for all of tech in Marvel Universe. I think that's fun.
Sure. But again, we will introduce these characters later.
Sure.
But just right now, introducing the concept of the Eternals and this
Yes.
adventure, their first it's not their first adventure in the MCU, but like,
No.
but like this opening, like, hey, this is this story that Cersei is telling to a couple people across the way from her.
Who they telling it to?
Who's she talking to?
Who
I
they
don't know.
telling it
Wait for a
to?
couple hours. Maybe the camera will pan around. Maybe some friends. Maybe you don't know. You don't know. Maybe. Shut up. Okay, here we go. So. Hey, here's the introduction of all these 6 characters. Oh, here's some of the exploits we did back in the day of fighting deviants. The deviants this time are not just mindless creatures. They're the deviants from the comics. Intelligent, kind of like mutated humans that have, different interesting powers and stuff. Also, when the Eternals fight them, they're getting hurt.
Okay.
They don't just plow through these guys like a bunch of minions. Like, no, they're getting hurt. Ajax can heal them, but they're still bleeding and getting cut, and it's not great.
Yeah.
But they are powerful.
I like
but
the idea of one of them bringing back one of their arms, and Ajax being have to be like, this sucks. But
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
yeah.
So, Cersei's telling all the story, blah, 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 blah. You hear all these characters. So, you're probably wondering, if we've been here for so long, and we're here to apparently, help the Earth. We're here to guide, from the from a distance, from the shadows, kind of help you guys out, guide a little bit. Where were we when you guys really needed us when Thanos showed up? Well, first off, we're really sorry about that. But you guys fought in Wakanda for like 2 hours before the snap happened. We were elsewhere and couldn't get to Wakanda fast enough.
That makes sense.
Because really the fight, the only time they fought on Earth was really Wakanda.
Yeah.
There was a couple, Eben Mar,
100%.
whatever, the bad guys, whatever the group
They
of
fought
bad
the
guys.
city for a hot sec, but
Yeah, there was a hot second, but like the actual fight, and then they was gone. Like he was off Earth
Yeah.
immediately. The actual fight that actually happened with Thanos on Earth was in Wakanda, and they did not know about it until it was too late.
yeah.
Because we as soon as we found out about it, like half you were disappearing. So that's on us. We're really sorry, but we should have been there. But after it happened, we got contacted by our boss, the Celestials, and they were not happy about what happened. And we were tasked to go find Thanos. So we could not find him. We did not know, like, we're pretty smart. Like, we're really powerful. We didn't know where he was. But eventually, you guys took care of that. And it's a good job.
So thank you.
So thank you.
You made us look real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like the Celestials wanted us to somehow fix this issue, but like we're powerful, we're smart, like we have a lot of interesting technology at our hands, but like we don't do time travel. We don't know how to do it. The fact that you guys pulled that off, I mean, I know it's still a sore point because it's only been a couple months, but yeah, I know that Tony's sacrifice was a very big deal, and he truly you have no idea how big a deal it is. Like, yeah, he saved, half the life in the universe, but like you really don't know. Like the Celestials knew about that, and they were very happy about what Tony did. So like blowing up his spot a little bit of like, hey, Tony's like he was recognized by basically Marvel's gods for what he did. So good job. But also like when you guys brought everybody back, like, well, so here's the thing. In the 5 years that most of the planet was gone, we were all still here. Like, we weren't really a part of the galactic or the universal equation of half of life.
Because we're not technically alive.
Well, also the half the Celestials didn't disappear.
You keep saying that, but I don't know. I don't see any proof.
I'm going to just say,
all right,
for the purposes of this story, we're not part of the equation.
Yeah,
and neither were the Deviants because we've been imbued by stuff from the Celestials.
Oh,
so with half of you guys gone and a lot less people around and a lot more space around, we've been keeping the Deviants at bay for hundreds of thousands of years. But there's only so many of us here on the planet, and also there was more time for them to
multiply.
Time. Exactly. So when you guys did your cool time hopping thing and brought everybody back, we were actually down in South America because the Deviants had set up their own city, which was called...
Oh, cool.
This is from the comics. I looked this up. I think it was Lemura.
Yeah.
Is the name of the city.
That's what I was getting at too.
And I thought so. So we were actually down there. We were about to confront them about this city. They built this city down in South America.
They built this city. Deviant City in South America.
Bow down, bow bow. Bow bow. Bow 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 bow. Let's go. We were just about to confront them when you guys snapped everybody back. So what was about to be a massive fight between the 6 of us and the city of Deviants turned into a rescue mission of us getting all these newly brought back people away from them. So we couldn't deal with that. We would have loved to have been there, but I mean, good job on handling Thanos. I guess twice, you guys. You did a fantastic job, and for bringing everybody back. Yeah. But like, again, we're really sorry. We should have been there for you. And I mean, you guys have been kicking butt for like a decade now, but like it was far past time we should have introduced ourselves. But the Thanos thing really, we couldn't really hide anymore. Mm-hmm. But we had to deal with this issue of Lemuria. So this is where the story now starts. It's been like maybe 7 minutes or so of like backstory.
Oh, okay.
This was all the introduction. And I think at this point.
How many more paragraphs you got over there?
Here's the thing. I didn't. Because things are so deep and crazy. Just know going through this story that the 6 main characters are going to have relationships and more backstory, and Athena and Gilgamesh will have their relationship. We'll figure out what's going on. Seriously, and Icarus, like, there's more interesting backstory going on.
Oh, no, I mean, there was a lot of implied stuff in mine as well.
But
there's too much to... This would be a 4-hour podcast if we wanted to do the arc of every single Eternal.
So, basically, we do all that stuff about Thanos, what happened. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot one of these things. I can't believe I missed this. This is the one part I didn't want to miss when I was doing this. Cersei, when she's doing the backstory of everything, she explains the whole thing that I did earlier about half of us actually went to the moon Titan a really long time ago, and eventually a couple of Eternals had a couple of kids, brothers actually, Thanos and his brother Firefox. So
Star Fox.
So
or Eros.
Yeah, Eros. So Thanos technically is part Celestial. Eternal. So again, we're really sorry. He was one of us, and we really should have been there. We dropped the ball, and again, you guys were amazing. Great job handling that. But again, that's really on us. We should have been there.
Okay.
Just to set up that Titan was because Thanos
Yeah.
showed on Titan, like, remember, this is what happened here when he had the Reality Stone. He showed Tony, like, all stuff, and then everything went to, what the hell, blah, 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 that's exactly what happened from the comics. So, like, we can tie in, like, even show that footage of when she's talking about Thanos
100%.
being born on Titan or whatever. Okay, great. So, we did the thing. We set up all the backstory. Fantastic. So, now the Eternals go back to Lemuria we got the humans out of the way. Oh, no, here's the thing. Sorry. When the humans everyone came back, we got a call from the Celestials. And this is to, like, what did you just do? What happened? And it's like, no, we don't know. We're going to find out. But first we got to save everybody here, because the Celestials are like, no, your job is to protect life on Earth. Mm-hmm. You do it. But in so doing, Ajax is talking to the Celestial. Crow is in charge of this city of Lemuria. And he's like an intelligent deviant who's like, and there's a lot of other intelligent deviants around. He's got his own little cadre of bad guys, right? I mean, there's a bunch of different named deviants from the comics you can choose to be like their little group of bad guys. Crow sees Ajax talking to the Celestial, or he's getting some type of, can understand, can see that that's happening. And then that's when Crow's plans change.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what now? Okay. We need to kidnap Ajax. So they save all the humans. A couple days pass after the snap because everyone's resettling. There's that we don't need to necessarily do anything at the moment.
Yeah.
But Crow sets up like, okay, we're going to go attack Brasilia, the capital of Brazil.
Okay.
So they go to attack and they start doing damage and stuff. And then the Eternals show up to save everybody. And when the Eternals show up, Crow backs off and it's like, I'm really sorry we didn't kill anybody. I just want to talk. I'm sorry. Things have changed, and I'm really we need to talk about the situation.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing you did.
Yes.
So he's trying to talk to them about basically like this. It was eerily similar. It's like, guys, we are basically the same. We're brothers.
Well, that's because that's what's compelling about it.
Yes, it is. It's giving this movie needed. Well, I mean, kind of had the original
this
movie.
Tried to go there, but it didn't.
Kind of right.
It just didn't.
It got there way later.
So it got there by the time the Celestial, like the fist, was coming out of the ocean. I was like, this is too late.
Yeah,
this is too late.
It's too late. This moral quandary.
I could give a crap that Thena killed him.
Should have been up at the beginning.
Yeah.
So now we're setting up the moral quandary. Hey, we're basically the same. We just want a chance to. You guys have been killing us for hundreds of thousands of years. Can't we? Everything was fine when half these humans were gone.
Yeah.
We weren't killing anybody. We weren't taking up anyone's space. There was space for us. Like, we just want to live.
Yeah. But we built a city. We weren't building weapons.
We weren't building weapons. We weren't doing anything. Well, here's the thing. Icarus not down with it. Clearly.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh and Ajax also kind of like, Circe's like, Thena, though, is swayed. Though no one says this yet, but Thena buys into the argument. Or not buys, there's no buying. She's like, he's not entirely wrong. Because in the comics, Thena and Crow were kind of friends, if not more so than that.
Interesting.
So, I'm kind of leading to that there. So, since it doesn't go well, since Ajax and Icarus are like, no, and we're basically leaders, and like, no, our job is to get rid of the deviants, and you guys are just going to be up to no good. This isn't going to work in the long run. We're not going to play this game. The Eternals then attack, kind of against Circe and Athena, kind of being like, but maybe we shouldn't do that. They seem peaceful, but in doing so, Crow and his people we have a cool fight scene now where we actually get to see each other's powers. Well, I mean, we saw the heroes' powers. Then we see the bad guys' powers a little bit.
Yeah,
they are able to kidnap Ajax and flee back to Lemuria.
Okay.
And so now everyone kind of heads back and be like, what the hell are we supposed to do? What's going on? Why do they why do they kidnap Ajax? I was like, well, what does Ajax got? Oh, is he going to try to call the Celestial? Oh, crap. He can't do that, can he? I don't know. Deviants have been able to pull off some pretty weird stuff over the centuries. He might be able to do that. So, people now are bickering. Athena and Circe are kind of like, we didn't need to attack them. They were just talking. But Icarus and Gilgamesh are kind of like, yeah, but more Icarus than Gilgamesh. But like, yeah, but and Makari is trying to, play, not play both sides, but like be an arbiter of peace between both people because she sees everything. But basically, people at this point, people break off. We have two camps now. Circe and Athena and Makari being like, we should have gone through this a little bit more peacefully, and Icarus and Gilgamesh being like, no, we need to go get Ajax.
Yeah,
this is a declaration
he's more about
of war.
he's more about rescuing Ajax, and he's about killing deviants. Whereas Icarus is like more okay. Yeah.
So, let's see. Okay, so, so back at Lemuria, Crow basically was like, I just wanted to talk, and I still just want to talk. I want to talk to the Celestial. I want to talk to like whoever, like Ashura or whatever the guy was. I want to talk to the guy that made us, because this is ridiculous. All we want to do is live. Apparently, you can talk to him at any time. I think it's only fair that we're able to talk to our creator as well. And this is how Ajax tells everybody. That's how they know. Sorry, backtracking. That's how that works. So Ajax tells everybody. Then they bicker, they fight, they stamp apart, and then everyone's like, okay, well, we can't let him contact the Celestial.
Why not though?
Because if he does, the Celestial may come and judge Earth, and he may wipe out all of life on Earth, and we're not at that point yet.
Gotcha.
So, like, he may set off a chain of events that, like, leads to the destruction of the planet.
Because maybe Celestials suck. Maybe if we learned anything from Eternals, maybe Celestials aren't really like that, you know.
So, everyone heads back to Lemuria, and they get to Crow, and this is the third act at this point, you know, because people have been bickering and fighting.
Yeah.
So, they go to Lemuria, and the Eternals are trying to stop Crow from contacting the Celestials to get them to judge Earth.
Because the Celestial will think that Earth is a lost cause if the
Yes.
Yeah.
And Crow's just like, you guys are just going to kill us anyways. What's the point of doing this dance anymore? You've been killing us for hundreds of thousands of years. If you're just going to keep killing us, we should screw this. Just take the whole planet. Just take everything out. I know you guys get screwed too. Just because he's done. They've been doing this for a long, really long time.
Yeah.
Why not? Why keep?
It's like, why do we keep
doing this thing over and over again?
Yeah.
Let the Celestials come and judge this planet already. So there's fight.
That's good. I like
so they
that.
come and they fight, and this time I want to have the the Eternals show up. They come to Lemuria and kind of like what you did. Like, things aren't all that bad here. Like, they're deviants. Like, this seems like a base level human society here.
Yeah.
They seem to be living mostly in peace. It's like just like kind of a normal human city. But like, it's so Circe and especially Athena just like, guys, we're not. This is. Guys, and Makari's like, I've ran around all over the place. Like, this is not bad. Granted, they're taking up, space where humans would be living. But like, other than that, like, this is not. They're not trying to make war with anybody. They get up to the course of like the main building or whatever, where Crow and the other guys are, and through a lot of psychic damage, Crow contacts the Celestial and pleads his case. Like, we just want to be left alone. We're not trying to. You guys are. You're the ones that made us. Like, we learned our lesson.
But we're not trying to hurt anybody.
We're not trying to hurt anybody anymore.
You sent the Eternals because we were. We're not anymore.
We're not anymore. There's no reason for this conflict. Can you just stop? Can't we just be? And the Celestial goes, no.
And the thumb
goes down. So Crow goes, oh, well, then, all right, fine. This planet's screwed anyways. You should probably just come in. They're not ever going to get any better. Shanks Ajax. Just kills her.
Oh, cool.
Just right there.
That's a good... I like Ajax. I don't want her to die, but that's interesting.
Kills Ajax in front of the Eternals. The 5 of them that are still there. And then it's on. But this time, we are now doing what I thought they should have done in the Black Panther. As they are now fighting... Our main characters are now fighting the main deviant characters in Lemuria.
Oh, yeah.
And now we are having a physical fight with powers, and it's really cool, and some cool stuff's happening. But also at the same time, we're having a philosophical debate of like, why are you attacking us? We didn't want this. We just want to be left alone and in peace. We could have had peace. But no, the Eternals always got to come and kill us. What are you fighting for? Everything, like, we're having the philosophical debate, like what should have happened in Black Panther.
Absolutely.
Because that would, if they fought through Wakanda, through the main city of Wakanda, like, they wouldn't be hurting each other, but they would have been like giving each other their points of view and like realizing like, yeah, we're beating the crap out of each other, but like one point of view here is like, you're not wrong, but you're gonna kill a lot of people in getting it done.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but maybe they deserve to die after what all they did. Like, this is like the philosophical debate between the Eternals and the Deviants.
Yes.
So eventually, the cycle has to stop. Like, we can't keep doing this. And so, Crow finally, all the cool fights. People are getting wounded. People are getting hurt. Like, I think maybe like half the crew is gonna kill the Deviants, while the other half of the Deviants is gonna kill the Eternals. Like, they're in a cool, interesting stalemate between like 5-on-5. And then Crow goes, you know what? This is only gonna end with all of us dying. I know how you Eternals operate. Even if we kill you, you're still gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Oh, wink. Oh, winky, winky, winky face. They're Eternals, dude. Look at that. So, Crow feels like he's made his point and puts his weapon down and stops back. I have another idea. What if instead of killing ourselves, let's go to Titan. If we can't be peaceful here,
Interesting.
let's go to Titan. I know that some Eternals lived there. I heard all about it. You guys, that Civil War you guys had all that time ago. I've heard it's empty now. We can live in peace on Titan. I know it's empty. And so they're like, that is actually an elegant solution to this whole thing. Okay. So the Eternals help the Deviants transport Lemuria, some of the stuff, and mostly the people, slowly but surely, migrate them to Titan.
Huh.
On Titan. Oh, that's later. Sorry. So that's kind of wraps everything up. Like, okay, great. It's back to Cersei, and I think at some point Icarus joined her at the table, so now it's the two of them kind of relaying the story to the people across the table from them drinking tea.
Who are those people across the table?
So it turns out they were talking to Bruce and Wonger.
Oh, okay.
Because like of all the people who are still around on Earth right now, they are probably the easiest touchstones of people who are available to do the scene, and also like those are the Avengers. At the moment, like those are the touchstone Avengers right now.
He is a Sorcerer Supreme,
and he's
Bruce.
Yeah. And so
those are also people who are probably willing to believe this crazy ass story.
Yeah.
Because they're both learned in different ways. That makes sense.
Yeah. So,
and I like the idea of Wong being like, I read a lot of books about you guys. I really just thought, wow, some good stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was all fake, but I
can't wait to meet Gilgamesh. He sounds like really awesome. Because Wong and Gilgamesh should hang out. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
So, Cersei basically goes, so the way things stand right now, the Deviants up are on Titan, and at some point, a giant space god may come and judge Earth, and we are going to do our best to make sure that we pass that test, because it wasn't supposed to come for a really long time. And again, we kind of let you guys down a little bit, and we're sorry, but we are here now. We're gonna be here to help you. I know the Avengers numbers aren't all that large at the moment, but if you guys ever need a hand, the Eternals are here to help. Credits.
That's great.
That's great. Oh no, no, sorry. We're here to help. And then I think like Wong goes, really sorry to hear about Ajax. And it's like, oh no, Ajax is gonna be fine. She's fine. What are you talking about? She was murdered. It's like, oh no, we're called the Eternals.
Oh.
Finger guns. It's fine. So okay, credits. And then, first mid-credit scene. Cut to Titan. We see Crow and some of the Deviants on there digging. And eventually they get deep enough in a cave, and they open to like a giant cavern. And there, in the cavern, you see a giant, massive, sleeping Celestial. It's Tiamat, the sleeping Celestial. Or what they were alluding to in the actual movie. Because the Deviants prayed to the sleeping Celestial as a god. It's in the comics.
But isn't Tiamat on Earth?
Yes, but I moved it to Titan.
Okay.
Because the same thing happened, but like Tiamat and Titan.
But what does that mean from a plot perspective?
It means the Deviants have the power of the Celestial at their hands now.
Oh, okay.
And oh no, what are they going to do with this sleeping Celestial?
Okay.
Was this the plan the whole time?
Hollow it out and make a city in its head?
Quite possibly. Or just get empowered by a Celestial, because who knows? We can do anything.
Okay,
but like,
that's cool.
Okay, oh no, we saw Asheron or whatever the guy's name is earlier, and now there's a sleeping one in front of the Deviants, and Crow can even say something like, "This is all going to work out." Great. perfect. This is exactly, this was the best plan B ever. Like something to that effect of like, I am exactly where I want to be. I took a guess and it all worked out. Nice. They'll never expect my next move.
Cool.
Something to that effect.
That's good.
And then the second credits we can introduce Firefox.
Yeah.
Or Star Fox, because we mentioned him in the beginning.
Like,
Thanos
hey,
they had two sons.
you guys
It
killed
was
my
Thanos
brother.
and Star Fox, and now
I'm
he
not
can
saying
show
you
up.
shouldn't have, but
Yeah,
or I heard you kill my brother twice.
nice.
Nice. That guy sucked.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Oh, I was mentioned 2 hours ago. Now I'm showing up. I'm also Harry Styles. There's not a weird CG leprechaun here.
Patton Oswalt. I mean, we're all about Patton Oswalt.
That wasn't Patton Oswalt.
Pip.
Yeah, wasn't that?
I bet you $1,000 it was Patton Oswalt.
I thought that was Seth.
It's Patton Oswalt.
Is it Patton Oswalt?
It's Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt? You sure it's Patton Oswalt?
Are you really want to take that?
I'm not taking it. I'm checking IMDb right now.
$1,000.
I'm not taking the bet, but I am going to check. I'm checking. I really thought that was Seth Green. No, not Seth Green. What am I thinking? Why isn't my camera?
Seth Rogen. You're thinking.
Thank you, Seth Rogen. Thank you. Yes, I'm looking for Seth Rogen. Show me Seth Rogen. Show me Seth Rogen.
Show me Patton Oswalt.
Come on, IMDb. Just show me full casting crew. Boy. Here we go. The name of the character's name is Pip, and I'm scrolling down, and it's Harry Styles, and
Wow.
But good job, bud. I really thought that
And it was Patton Oswalt.
It was Patton Oswalt.
Wow.
Really thought it was Seth Rogen.
You gotta say that this is a podcast.
Is it a podcast?
It's not. You gotta be.
Oh my God! It's Seth Rogen. I'm reading it off my screen. Seth Rogen. So that's how I would fix it.
Yeah.
Shorter characters. The stakes. I said steak goes a little bit bigger, but we set up like some of the things they really wanted to, but we do it slower. So like in the next movie, then we can introduce Fastos.
Yeah.
Then we can introduce Druig, who would truly be a villain.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is some of the stuff he did in the past. But since time, we get to time, we can take time in the next movie,
Like him controlling so many minds, he lost his.
to
Yeah.
set up what he's doing now, because he's an interesting character. But like it takes time to set up, like, oh yeah, but not all of us are the best. And here's this guy. He sucks. So that's my Eternals fix.
That's great.
I mean, honestly, like, the other fixes were, of course, making it a show and maybe.
I think making it a show, you could pull off the story that they told in a show and build the characters in a way that would feel way more satisfying.
Oh, sure.
But I think
And there was room for everybody.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I truly think that the actual fix of Eternals, and I've been avoiding this to not sound wildly too negative, I think the actual fix is that these don't actually fit in the MCU as we know it.
No.
And they shouldn't have made this movie.
I don't think they should have made this movie.
I think it really comes down to, it has nothing to do with the movie itself.
Nope.
It's that the characters themselves are too highfalutin and too big, conceptually way too out there
Yes.
to ground anywhere in the MCU.
Well, the MCU has done a good job of, like you said earlier, it's people, normal humans, dealing with the powers of gods.
I feel
and
like
the Eternals are just like, no, we're gods. Like, it's having like DC characters in the MCU, which that's not how this works.
The MCU to me is a beautiful like backyard garden where you are growing a lot of your own food, and it's like it's a very functional but like nice backyard garden. And Eternals is basically like, oh, we brought something for you to plant in your garden. What is it? It's a bonsai tree. Not what we're doing here, Eternals. This isn't it. This isn't it. This is indeed a plant. I could technically plant this here, but it is not what we are doing.
No. And it's still like, even to this day, with all the movies that are out now and are about to come out later, like Celestials being the planet being a celestial, like, it still doesn't really fit in with the multiverse stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
It's too big of a thing.
Well, that was a very good fix, buddy.
Thanks, dude. You did a great job too.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah,
I think we fixed it.
I think we did fix it.
I think we fixed it. Yeah, man. Whew.
Woof
Eternals.
indeed.
Our longest episode, but we knew it. We knew it.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry about editing this one.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Wait.
It's going to be a long one.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But it's a good one. I
Hey.
think we did it with good fixes.
Look,
So much research.
I'm tired of thinking about, I'm glad to not have to think about the Eternals.
Yes, I'm going home and
was like-
purge, delete. It's gonna hope put this on an external drive and
I
get
know
that
it
out of
doesn't
my brain.
always sound like it, but we really do think long and hard about these. Like the brain power that goes towards Fix It is way more than you would think it was because we're just two chuckleheads.
Yes, there were a couple times this past week where I did the whole Jay thing of just like staring 1,000 yards away, not saying anything. Amanda would walk in like, "You okay?" I'm like, "What? Oh, wait. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was sorry.
I was just thinking about Druid.
Just thinking about Eternals and how much Druid sucks. That guy sucks."
Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. If you are listening to this on any of the places that you find your podcast, if you wouldn't mind writing a quick little review for us, leaving us 5 stars, it goes a long way towards helping the people find the podcast.
Yeah.
It is pretty much the only way that podcatchers have a way of algorithm and quantifying.
The algorithm is gonna get you, Jay.
Yeah, that one. It's the only way that people can find the show on those platforms. But also, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the stuff. You know the stuff. Write it in the comments. Or how you would fix Eternals.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think about Druid. That he sucks. We hate him.
He does suck.
Rob.
Rabble.
That's
Makari
right.
deserves better. Rabble.
Yeah, we all agree. Thank you guys so much for listening. We have a blast making this show, and we are. Oh, also next week we will be fixing. It is one of our backlog episodes, and it may be, I think, our best backlog episode.
Oh, okay.
We are, and one of our most requested.
That is true. It's one
We
of the
are
most requested.
fixing the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
Yeah,
we will be doing a watch along on Discord. Definitely join the Discord, discord.gg/previewed. And I put up the events every Monday of when everything's happening, and you can find out the information for that watch along there. And as we end every episode here at Fix It, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the slow, invisible dagger that you don't see because you're too busy staring at volcanoes that gets you, Jay. She gets stabbed in the back of the movie.
Did you say steak?
No, I did. Like, that's 20 minutes ago.
I know you didn't.
I didn't. Wait a second. I didn't say it.
Gotcha.
How dare you? How dare you?
Bye.
Oh.